Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasoda Nandana Radhana Ranjana Yasoda Nandana Radhana Amuna Tera Banachari Jayora Damadava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tera Vanachari Jayora Damadava Kunja Bihari Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 4, Appearance of Sri Narada, Text 10. Sa Samrat Kasyava Heto Pandu Namana Vardhana Prayapo Visto Gangaya Anadritya Dhirat Sriham. He was a great emperor, possessed all the opulences of his acquired kingdom. He was so exalted that he was increasing the prestige of Pandu dynasty. Why did he give up everything to sit down on the bank of Ganges and fast until death? Purport: Maharaj Parikshit was the emperor of the world, all the seas and oceans. And he did not have to take the trouble to acquire such a kingdom by his own effort. He inherited it from his grandfathers, Maharaj, Yudhishthira and brothers. Besides that, he was doing well in the administration. Then why should he give up all these favorable circumstances and sit down on the bank of Ganges fasting till death? This is astonishing. Therefore, all were eager to know the cause. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesa Sanyavadi Paschyatate Satarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Maharaj Parikshit is cursed by the internal potency of Krishna. Sringi, a mere Dijabandhu, can never touch Maharaj Parikshit, who is a pure devotee of Krishna and is always under the protection of Krishna's internal potential. He who is personally protected by Krishna, how he can be cursed? But this whole activity, whole Lila is there just to exhibit the supreme will of Krishna. Krishna wants Bhagavatam to descend, and Maharaj Parikshit must be the person who would be instrumental to descend it, to make it descend. It's like Arjuna was made instrumental to make Bhagavad Gita to descend. Similarly, Maharaj Parikshit made it, became the instrument to make Bhagavatam to descend. So, I don't think there would be bigger philanthropist, welfare activist, or the most munificent personality on this earth, bigger than Arjuna and Maharaj Parikshit. Maharaj Parikshit and Arjuna, if they were not there, then we would not have seen the pages of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. That is why we should offer koti koti naman to these two great personalities. We have to recognize that Krishna is Hridaya Samrat. He is the king of the heart of all great devotees. But in case of Maharaj Parikshit and Arjuna, for them Krishna is certainly Hridaya Samrat. In addition, Maharaj Parikshit and Arjuna, they are Hridaya Samrat of Krishna. There are two notions. Hridaya Samrat of pure devotees. That is Krishna. That is true for everyone. But for Krishna, Hridaya Samrat, that is Arjuna and Maharaj Parikshit. Otherwise, among so many beautiful, wonderful devotees, why they are only selected? Whomever Krishna selects, we must know, is very dear to Krishna. Instead of becoming envious, oh, why Krishna bestowed so much of mercy upon them, and lamenting, we should surrender to Krishna's pure free will. You say, Krishna, whatever he does, everything happens within his internal potential. And sometimes certain things happen that is inconceivable. I'll tell you a story. Can anybody predict? I'm going to tell a story that is very bizarre, looks very bizarre, but that is the only way something very wonderful is going to happen. Just like here, Maharaj Parikshit has to be cursed. Krishna's pure devotee has to be cursed for Bhagavatam to descend. It looks so odd, isn't it? It looks so odd. Very difficult to internalize and digest. Now I will tell you a story that is even more bizarre, looks very bizarre. Can anybody? Chitraketu. At least Mukund Madhusudan could was guessing something. Anybody would guess?
sons of Mother Devaki was Krishna, before Krishna descended, sons of Mother Devaki was
Devaki, what is there? There is nothing. Yeah, it's there. But I am going to tell something different. Okay? Nobody? Nobody? Okay. Anybody would like to say? Eh? Zoom में कोई दिया है? In Zoom somebody has given answer? Ah. Okay, nobody has given. Everybody is simply sleeping there.
Sir,
Ah.
and Vrindavan had to be devastated by the torrential rains by Indra to for all the devotees to take shelter under the Govardhan mountain.
Manigriba, Nalakubara cursed. I don't know, these people. Ah. Ah. Draupadi is disrobing. Yeah, that can come. Yeah. Ajay Gudla Chota Haridas. Okay. So dear devotees, once Satrajit got Samantaka jewel from Lord's sun god. So after he got, as soon as he put on that necklace, Samantaka jewel, he looked like sun god and felt very proud, arrogant. And as soon as he entered in Dwaraka, people thought sun god has come. Then immediately, the Dwarakabasis, they rushed to Krishna's Sudharma hall and said, "Sir, sun god has come to see you. Should I call him, bring him inside?" And Krishna smiled and said, "This is not sun god. This is Satrajit, being puffed up. He is demonstrating. He is a stupid fellow." Anyway, so people realize who is this Satrajit. And now what happened next day? Satrajit's brother, Purushottam, Prasanjit something. So Satrajit's brother, he took that Samantaka jewel and went for hunting, and he didn't return. So obviously Satrajit became envious of Krishna. Said everywhere, he said, "You see, my brother went to the jungle with the Samantaka jewel. It looks like Krishna has stolen that Samantaka jewel." What is one Samantaka jewel? Even trillions of Samantaka jewel, Krishna would not be attracted because he has so much of opulence. But you see the audacity of Satrajit accusing Krishna stealing. You just imagine. What is this? And then Krishna, to save his, because after all he is the king, he has to establish that he is beyond any so-called acquisition. So along with some group of Dwarkavasis, he went to the jungle, and they found Satrajit's brother is lying at some place dead, and the Samantaka jewel is not with him. And they went further and they saw a lion is dead. So they realized this lion must have killed the Satrajit's brother and then snatched the Samantaka jewel. And somebody again snatched that Samantaka jewel from the lion and killed the lion. So somebody more powerful than the lion must be there. So there was nearby a cave, and Krishna entered there. And there he saw one small child playing with this Samantaka jewel. So as soon as Krishna took hold of that Samantaka jewel, the child started crying. Then Jambavan, Rukhyaraj Jambavan came out and fought with Krishna. And they fought for 28 days continuously. And then the Dwarkavasis who were outside the cave, Krishna told them, you just wait here. For 28 days Krishna didn't come. They realized Krishna has been killed. So they went to the Dwarka and spread the message that Krishna has been killed. What is this? How the turn of events are happening and Krishna is dead has been declared. And then Vasudeva and Devaki and everybody started crying, yelling, and beating their chest, and all things are happening in Dwaraka. And by that time, Rukhyaraj realized after 28 days that this is my master. Because nobody can fight with me for such a long time. And then he surrendered to him. And then, out of respect, he gave his daughter, Jambavati, in marriage to Krishna. That time Krishna was only married to Rukmini when this happened. Jambavati became her second queen. Okay? And as soon as Krishna came out, he saw nobody is there. Now with the Samantaka jewel, he went out and went to the Dwaraka, and the assembly hall, he sent the kingly emissaries telling that go and call Satyajit. And in front of everybody, Satyajit was shamed. And the villagers, the Dwarkavasis, they started saying, now this is what your brother was not killed by Krishna, he was killed by a lion, lion finally was killed by Rukhyaraj. Okay. And now this Samantaka jewel, and Krishna threw that Samantaka jewel to Satyajit. Satyajit was so ashamed and so was feeling and so morose. To please Krishna, he gave his daughter Satyabhama in marriage to Krishna. अब देखो सत्यभामा को शादी करने के लिए भगवान कृष्ण और कुछ लीला नहीं कर पाए, इतना करना पड़ा है. So this is all, this is nothing mundanity. Satyajit accusing Krishna, and later you will see what is his name, Akrura. He will tell Satadhanva to kill Satyajit. वो भी हुआ है. And Satyabhama will cryingly, profusely will go. That time, I am forgetting what happened. Krishna was, I think, fighting Narakasura or something. Satyabhama would come and... Anyway, so the whole, it looks very bizarre and very mundane. It's nothing mundane in this. Because ultimately, Krishna and Satyabhama has to be united. And for that, something very ghastly looking scenery is happening. And but that's completely pure. Okay? So these kind of pastimes that we see in Krishna Lila, they are full of juice, suspense. Just like when you go and watch it in the theater, there will be many suspense, many things. But Krishna Lila has more suspense, more uncertainty, what is happening, हैं? अब देखो 28 days Krishna is fighting and Dwarkavasis are completely, they realize that Krishna is dead. और जाके बता भी दिए. And made the entire Dwarkavasis to shed tears that Krishna is dead. मुझे तो नहीं लग रहा है ऐसे कहीं पे होता है. हैं? देखा कभी? हैं? In material world you will not find such a thing. So the Samantaka money or jewel was a very intriguing drama, and in my childhood time I have seen this being played, and those days I could not follow because it was so tough to follow as a small kid. We could not follow it. It's a very, very tough the way drama is portrayed, so much of suspense, unless somebody tells you, you cannot follow it. But that's how intriguing drama related to Krishna has to marry Satyabhama. And to marry Satyabhama, such curvilinear path has to be traversed, right? But anyway, when you see Krishna and his consort are united, then everybody must feel very happy. Just like we are finally happy, even if Maharaj Parikshit was cursed, but we have received Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam we have received. Okay? I think I should take a pause, or I will read. Namanti yatpada niketamatmana Shivaya haniya dhanani satrava katham sabira sriyamangadustyarjam uvai satosrastum aho sahasa suvi. He was such a great emperor that all his enemies would come and bow down at his feet, surrender all their wealth for their own benefit. He was full of youth and energy, strength. He possessed insuperably kingly opulences. Why did he want to give up everything, including his life? There was nothing undesirable in his life, Prabhupada says in the purport. He was quite a young man, could enjoy life with power and opulence, so there was no question of retiring from active life. There was no difficulty in collecting the state taxes because he was so powerful and chivalrous that even his enemies would come to him and bow down at his feet and surrender all wealth for their own benefit. Maharaj Parikshit was a pious king. He conquered his enemies, and therefore the kingdom was full of prosperity. There was enough milk, grains, and metals. All the rivers and mountains were full of potency. So materially, everything was satisfactory. Therefore, there was no question of untimely giving up his kingdom and life. The sages were eager to hear about all this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, dear devotees, you see, most of these sages, they were living also during the time of Maharaj Parikshit. After Maharaj Parikshit was spoken, Srimad Bhagavatam, this is almost 1,000 years after that. Okay. And the 1,000 years doesn't look like a big, just like 1 century in this age is 1,000 years in the other ages. As if, like somebody talks about, in 20th century this has happened. You'll say, okay, that's very near. Right? For example, if I have to tell the story of science, starting with Einstein's theory, and then Maxwell, Schrodinger, Heisenberg. You can go on telling, this is as if happened, yesterday, right? So dear devotees, similarly, for them, it just happened like yesterday. Maharaj Parikshit was so powerful, so young, energetic, and he was so efficient. Why did he give up his life? Eh? They knew that he was so powerful, no curse can touch him, but still he accepted it and gave up his life eh, for a higher purpose. Krishna personally guided him. That is the nature of a pure devotee. Pure devotee is simply guided by Krishna. So much so that he accepted that curse, but he became an instrument to bring Bhagavatam. This is the beauty. Only pure devotees of Krishna can become the exact instrument of Krishna. Whatever Krishna wants to manifest Bhagavatam to save the Kali Yuga people. Without this Bhagavatam, this world will be empty. I don't know what would have happened. Just like Gaur na hoite, Arjun na hoite, Maharaj Parikshit na hoite. What would have happened without Maharaj Parikshit? These people, they have nothing else to do things except to become instrument of Krishna. And that is what we should always ask this question. Am I being used in the mission of Krishna or not? If I'm not used in the mission of Krishna, my life is useless. Like our Panchal. He is always despondent, but he is not asking this question. The despondency in me is because I'm not using myself in the service to Krishna. And each one of us, we have in that same category of despondency. And obviously, we should always ask this question. Despondency is there because I'm not used in the service to Krishna. So, give me 2 minutes. You can start writing your questions in the chat box. 2 minutes break. You can play Yashamati Nanda. Can you give an example of system liberation? What is system? Sarsti. You out of Sarsti. Chiranjit again, how to deal with the dwelling of mind during chanting? No, mind cannot be done. You have to deluge yourself in Krishna consciousness. Use spiritual intelligence and make mind hear Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Spiritual intelligence. Use spiritual intelligence. And Ritu Bhandari, why did Lord Krishna ordered Lord Shiva to teach Mayavadi philosophy to people in Kali Yuga? Because there are so many rascals, they will never become devotees. And so they are being bewildered by Mayavada philosophy. Because if they would not have been bewildered by Mayavada philosophy, probably they would have done something even more dangerous in the society. So they look like more peaceful people with the Mayavadi philosophy, and they think they are very happy. So Mayavad philosophy is the ultimate disturbance in this world. But in Kali Yuga, you see, in other yugas, demons can create havoc. And such havoc, in Kali Yuga, if that is created, then nobody can become devotee. So it is better that they become Mayavadis and the world still remain peaceful, such that devotees can practice and preach Krishna consciousness. Sir, the sages must be aware about the Yuga Dharmas. Why did they waste 1000 years in fire sacrifice instead of directly being engaged in Bhagavatam? Sages, for them 1000 years is nothing actually. In Kali Yuga, 432,000 years, 1000 years is nothing. So it looks like big period for you. For them it is not a big period. But anyway, because they performed fire sacrifice, Agnihotra sacrifice, and then they started hearing Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam, otherwise Bhagavatam would have been looked like very cheap. So by this process, everybody recognizes Bhagavatam is very, very special. Riddhi Mataji, what is the difference between Mukti and Moksha? One day you had mentioned 3 states of human: Bhukti, Mukti, and Siddhi Kami. Please explain if possible. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi Kami, Sakali Asanta, Krishna Bhakta Niskama, Ateva Santa. Bhukti means karmi. Karmis are bhukti. All karmis, they want some enjoyment, some profit. Okay? A karmi gets married. Why? A karmi gets married because he thinks that he will get some nice dowry. Right? For karmi, any action is a profitable action. Karmi builds a bungalow. Why? Because he wants to enjoy. So this is karmi, bhukti. Mukti is this Mayavadis. They want mukti. Okay. Mayavadis realize that anything you do in this world is a troublesome thing. You get married, troublesome. You do build a bungalow, it's a troublesome. You do a job, troublesome. Whatever you do in this world is only troublesome. You establish certain relationship with some people as friend, lover, they all bring in misery. So these people, they are seeking mukti. Mayavadi, they seek mukti. So they want to annihilate their self such that they don't suffer from any of these anxiety or difficulties that Now, once you are in this material world, you will always have something or other to suffer from. And then Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi. So, karmis, jnanis, and then dhyanis. Dhyani is by performing severe austerity and meditation, they attain siddhi. They can collect something from a distant place. They can become smaller than the smallest. They can become bigger than the biggest. So like that, they will get some prapti siddhi, basita siddhi, anima, laghima. So these are all different siddhis. When they get that siddhis, they feel thrilled, right? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, all these karmis, jnanis and dhyanis, sakali asanta, they're all unpeaceful. They're never peaceful. They can never be peaceful because their heart is burning with different varieties of desire. In case of karmi, they are burning of desire. They are burning with the desire of enjoyment. In case of jnani, they are burning with the desire for liberation. In case of jnanis, they are burning with the desire to attain mystical opulence. And hence, sakali asanta. Krishna bhakta niskama. But those who are surrendered to Krishna, for them only whatever Krishna wants, whatever pleases Krishna, that must happen. For pleasing Krishna, if I am supposed to be bitten by Takshaka, the snake bird, so be it. If Krishna is pleased because I'll be bitten by the snake bird, so be it. So this is a bhakta. Bhakta is completely surrendered to Krishna and he wants to see Krishna is pleased, that's all. A bhakta remains happy when he sees Krishna is being pleased and he is ready to sacrifice his life. So that is why Krishna bhakta niskama atayava santa. Chahatu prati. In the purport 7.8 it says, practically speaking, there is no conflict between personalism and impersonalism. Could you please explain this? Yes, personalism and impersonalism is the devotees are pure instrument of Krishna. Finally, everybody is used as a pure instrument of Krishna. Ultimately, it is Krishna's free will that prevails and that happens. Okay. So our free will is simply must be sacrificed for the free will of Krishna. So there is only one free will, that is Krishna's free will. So so impersonalism, the pure impersonalism. This is called pure impersonalism. Pure impersonalism means we don't matter. We don't matter. That means our free choices don't matter. They are of no value. Not only they are insignificant, they really don't matter. So that pure impersonalism and Krishna consciousness are non-different. But then there is deeper issue there, that in this there is so much of rasa being exchanged between Krishna and his devotees. Although devotees completely sacrifice their free will for allowing Krishna to prevail over everything, but then in that there is a lot of rasa between Krishna and his devotees. So that part is missed. Okay, I think that we should. Any other question? Covered? So, Chiranjit Rai, there are 5 categories of liberation. One is Sayujya, impersonalist, they merge into Brahmajyoti. That is the lowest category of liberation. Then there is Samipya. Samipya means those who uh, become associate of Lord. Those who become associate of the Lord. Samipya. Okay. Salokya. Those who attain the same planet as that of the Lord. Sarupya. Those who attain the same form as that of the Lord. And you are talking about Sasti. Sasti is having the same opulence as that of the Lord. So these are a different liberation. And devotees, pure devotees, do not look for any of these liberation. They kick. In fact, liberation is running, chasing devotees. Please accept me. Please accept me. And devotee says, hut, hut, like that. Okay. So that is how devotees treat this liberation. And हम तो भिख मंगा है भाई, 5 पैसा के लिए खुश हो जाते हैं. इतना दुर्बुद्धि हम लोगों की है. Okay. So devotee simply wants to please Krishna. Narayana parasarve na kutaschana vibhyati sarge apavarge narakesu apitulya arthadarsana. Devotee doesn't care. You throw him into the Swarga, you throw him into Apavarga, that is into Brahmajyoti, you throw him into the Naraka, hell, doesn't matter if that is what is pleasing to Krishna. That's the only thing. If something is pleasing to Krishna, Krishna is happy by this. Okay? When I was studying engineering, that time, some Ray, I forgot, he's a very popular writer. He has written a book. And it's a big book. So I read that book. Although, you don't get Krishna consciousness from these writers. But he explained what is selfless love. He was explaining what is selfless love. And he told the story. And he was narrating the story of Krishna becoming feverish. Krishna is sick, he has a fever. And Narada is going to everyone, saying Krishna has a fever. So Brahmana said, Krishna has fever? Oh, this is not good. Every day we are offering varieties of Thimni, Yajna, and Krishna is Yajna book. And if he is sick, how he will accept our thing? So they are concerned about their Yajna would be successful or not. And then Naraji is forcefully asking them, wouldn't you like to know that how Krishna will be all right? Please tell us, if we can do, we will surely do. And then Naraji said that you have to give the dust from your feet, and I have to go and sprinkle that dust on his head, then Krishna will be all right. Then Brahmana said, Hey, Narada, we thought you are our mitra, you are our friend, but you are our first-class enemy. You want us to go to hell. Get lost, Narada. Just get lost. We can't hear what you are saying. So like that, everybody will send back Narada. Narada will be very disappointed. And finally, Narada will meet gopis. And the gopis would say, Narada, from where you are coming? No, I met Krishna and coming. We were only thinking about Krishna and you have met him? Yes, yes, we met him. I met him. So what happened? How is he doing? He has a fever. Huh? He has a fever? What to be done? Huh? Now, Krishna says that his devotees give the dust from their feet and I have to go and sprinkle it on his head, forehead, and then he'll be all right. So gopis collected all that dust and made a very nice, in a kapda, they made it nice packet and handed over to Maharaj. And Maharaj said, don't you know that you are giving your feet dust to Krishna, who is the absolute truth? And for that you may have to go to Narka. And Gopi says, so what? If you suffer in Narka so that Krishna is cured, so that's the best thing. Okay? So this is something that only pure devotees can appreciate, others not. We see only Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's pleasure. Okay? Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Pramanande.